What is up, everyone? Let me know if you can hear me. I have a brand new mic. It's a little dark. Let's see if I could brighten up this thing here. There you go. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Card Chaos Live, episode 2. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. So, as you guys may know, Card Chaos Live is a card game that I came up with during COVID that I kind of stopped a little bit, but now I'm back. This is a warm up. And in Card Chaos Live, what I do is I shuffle my NBA trading cards to create one-on-one matchups that we may or may not have ever seen before. Any player, any position, any era, anything goes. That's any player, any position, any era, anything goes. Um, and today, after that, we're gonna be talking about uh, something I call "Put Me in, Coach." Put Me in, Coach is we have a lot of breaking news in the coaching realm when it comes to the NBA, and I want to make sure that we talk about all of it, from JJ Reddick to Kenny Atkinson to Sam Cassell. So let's actually start with the card chaos because that's what you're here for, and we can move in. As you guys may know, this is a game where I shuffle my NBA trading cards to create one-on-one matchups that we may or may not have ever seen before. Any player, any position, any era, anything goes. That's any player, any position, any era, anything goes. So right now, I'm going to shuffle these cards and pick up 3 matchups today. And after I get the matchups, will give me 60 seconds to decide who would win one-on-one. So let's actually do that now. So we're gonna just go ahead and start. All right, so here are some of my cards. You see some of them here. I'm gonna shuffle them to create the matchup. So our first matchup will be, okay, we have Anthony Hardaway. Anthony Hardaway. Against Anthony Hardaway, we will have. Against Anthony Hardaway, we will have. Against Anthony Hardaway, we will have. Okay, we have Isaiah Thomas. So we have Isaiah Thomas versus Anthony Hardaway one-on-one, an old school matchup. For matchup two, we will have, pause. We will have, oh no, I gotta take Michael Jordan out of it. That's not fair. That's not fair. All right, for the second matchup, we will have D Wade. Against D Wade, we will have. Oh, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has popped out. So D Wade versus Donovan Mitchell. And the last matchup will be. Ooh, we have a bunch of people jumping out here on my polls. But we will have Shy up. OKC. Shy versus John Morant. So we have some good ones here. The first matchup we're gonna do is John Morant versus Shy. The second matchup we're gonna do Donovan Mitchell versus Dwayne Wade. And lastly, we have Isaiah versus Anthony Hardaway. And those are the 3 matchups for Card Chaos Live. Okay, so give me a second. Let me just arrange myself because I have hundreds of cards here in front of me, and I need my space. I need my arm space. All right. So here we go. Let me just adjust my camera real quick because it's hard for me to stretch. All right. So the three matchups are gonna be John Morant, John Morant versus Shy, Dwayne Wade versus Donovan Mitchell, and Isaiah Thomas versus Anthony Hardaway. Um, so let's start with the younger generation. All right, let's start with that. Um, see if I can move forward to allow the Instagram TikTokers to see it. So here's the matchup. We have John Morant versus Shy. John Morant versus Shy for this episode of Card Chaos Live. Again, it's any position, any era, anything goes. These people happen to be in the same era. They happen to be in the same position. So this works out. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock and we will begin. So, John Morant versus Shy. Wow. So we all know that John Morant is quick as all heck, and John Morant, I mean, he is one of the most explosive players in the NBA today. Barring all the things that happened to him last year, the injuries that happened as well, like he definitely would be the face of the NBA. But quiet as it kept, quiet as it is, Shy has led the Oklahoma City Thunder, my team, to number one in the Western Conference this year. And although they didn't get through it shows the amount of leadership that he has over the squad. Now I know leadership doesn't matter in one-on-one because it's just about skills. I'm gonna take John Morant over my own guy because he does have that street ball skill, but damn it, Shy. You're not losing by much. So I'll pick John Morant over my guy Shy. But it hurts my heart to say that. Anyway, let's go back. So I went with John Morant. I'm a traitor, but I had to. Okay. Next matchup is going to be is going to be Donovan Mitchell versus Dwayne Wade. Against Donovan Mitchell versus Dwayne Wade. So in this situation, we have the any era situation happening where clearly Dwayne Wade and Donovan Mitchell are in different eras, but this is Card Chaos Live. So let's see if we can let this go. Let us begin. Okay, so we have two matchups here. Let me put time on the clock. And let's go. So Dwayne Wade versus Donovan Mitchell. This is Spider. Spider is quick and he's certainly skilled, but Dwayne Wade in his prime Wade, the knees. Flash was unstoppable. In fact, I think that people really, truly thought he might have been the next Michael Jordan. But I don't think the same is with Donovan. But one-on-one with the hands, that is the question. I do think Dwayne Wade was quick, but as far as handles, still got moving for a one-on-one. I might go with Donovan Mitchell. Again, just like the last one between John Morant and my guy Shy. Like, I think that this is going to be a tough one. Donovan Mitchell, he's just going to lose to the basketball IQ that Dwayne Wade has one-on-one, and I'm picking Dwayne Wade to beat him one-on-one. That was the second matchup of one-on-one card matchup where I shuffle my NBA trading cards to create one-on-one matchups that we may or may not see before. Any player, any position, any era, anything goes. Again, that's any player, any position, any era, anything goes. The last one is an old school matchup. We have Anthony Hardaway, right? Oh, we have Anthony Hardaway versus Isaiah Thomas. Anthony Hardaway versus Isaiah Thomas. Um, I'll admit I'm a little bit petty. I'm not an Isaiah Thomas fan, but we're gonna try to do it. Here we go. Isaiah Thomas versus Anthony Hardaway. Listen, Anthony Hardaway, just on size alone, is a has an advantage over Isaiah Thomas. I know Isaiah Thomas was a leading point guard, a premier point guard in the late 80s, early 90s. So ball handling is a big problem, but that score against I'm going with Anthony Hardaway every single time. Anthony Hardaway did have handles with Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan was the only. Michael Jordan wore Anthony Hardaway sneakers, and not his own. And that's the only player who's ever done that to, and that's the amount of respect that Michael Jordan had for Anthony Hardaway. So why not? And I'm just gonna pick Anthony off of his strength and my pettiness that he will beat Isaiah Thomas one on one. You guys are welcome to bring your opinions into this, but I've already, from a petty standpoint, have gone ahead and picked Anthony Hardaway over Donovan. Sorry, I've already used my pettiness to pick Anthony Hardaway over Isaiah Thomas. So that was the three matchups for Card Chaos Live. You're going to see them repeat on Instagram, YouTube during this week. But come next week, I'll introduce the brackets, which I used to do back in the days where I would match up everyone in an 8-person bracket, sort of like March Madness, and see where we could take it. So let's see where that goes come next week. But right now, those were the episodes. If you disagree, go ahead. I welcome your opinions, but I'm definitely picking Anthony over Isaiah. I'm definitely picking Ja Morant, barely, to not be a traitor, barely over my guy in Oklahoma City, and I'm gonna go with Wade over Donovan Mitchell 1-on-1. Now, let's move over to Off the Wall, where I pick different topics in the 2MW Sports 360 group to talk about the controversial topic of the day. And today is almost like a repeat of some of the things last week, but I still got the new spice for the new week. But we have head coaching controversy this week. There's a bunch of changes in the NBA coaching realm. We have Kenny Atkinson. Kenny Atkinson is now going to be hired, according to a bunch of sources, as the head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We also have JJ Reddick, as of last week, being signed to the Lakers. And we still have Sam Cassell, still as an assistant coach for 15 years, and hasn't had the opportunity to be a head coach, despite having 4 rings, a few of them as a player and 1 as an assistant coach. So let's talk about Kenny Atkinson. So today, as of June 24th, the news came on right before Card Chaos. The great news, I would say, that Kenny Atkinson is now the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wish I had room in this small frame of a screen to stand up and give a standing ovation. And maybe that's the new sound effect that I might have, but I'm going to give Kenny Atkinson like a Jamaican horn. That's the best I could do for you, Kenny. Shout out to Kenny Atkinson. Number one, I learned about Kenny Atkinson as the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And when he was fired They say cult parted ways in the news. I was irate. I believe he was actually recently like a coach of the month before he got let go. He managed to bring a bunch of random players just learning how to play basketball with part-time jobs, working in, you know, have real jobs like they do, like maybe they're plumbers, drivers, Uber drive. He got together a number of very talented men that we may not know as household names, and was able to get them very far. Um, I can't remember if they got into the bubble or they just missed the bubble, but by God, nobody knew who was on that squad. And at during that year, Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Irving was injured, and he wanted second opinions as usual, as he should, as he allowed, and wasn't able to play most of the season. I know Kevin Durant was also not able to play most of that season as well, due to the injuries that he sustained. And I think it was the Achilles, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, that's the Kenny Atkinson I remember, and I was just thrilled to be present in New York City when that was going down, because again, no one knew who any of these players were. I think he had Karis LeVert. He had he might have had Spencer Dinwiddie. Um sorry, Spencer yeah. Yeah. I forgot who else he had, but I know he definitely had Karis LeVert. And he made it work, and you can see that he is all about his X and O's. And you know, he has a very, very rich history. I need to go through it if you're not familiar with Kenny Atkinson. Um, Number one, he as a coach. Let's stick to the coach because he has a lengthy resume as a player. He didn't have any NBA playing experience like JJ Reddick, which we'll talk about later, but he had plenty of international experience. As a coach, if you did not know, Kenny Atkinson, for 2 years, from 2004 to 2006, he was the assistant at Paris Basketball Racing. From 2008 to 2012, he was the New York Knicks assistant coach. From 2012 to 2016, he was the Atlanta Hawks assistant. From 2016 to 2020, he was the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, where I learned of his skills and saw him in action. In 2020 to 2021, he was the Los Angeles Clippers assistant. And from 2021 to 2024, he was the Golden State Warriors assistant. And I believe he also got a ring as an assistant with that team. That is Kenny Atkinson's history. And Kenny Atkinson, I just want to say congratulations to you. Right? You did I despite what everyone says about what happened in Brooklyn, I saw what you were doing and how you held that team together, and you were able to make it work with what you had. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are very, 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 I don't want to say lucky, but they're smart to have you, and I can't wait to see how well you do with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Congratulations, Kenny Atkinson. So, the next thing I want to talk about is JJ Reddick versus Sam Cassell. This was a hot topic on the wall, fighting to the death about Kenny Atkinson's, fighting to the death about Sam Cassell's experience versus JJ Reddick. Now, there are a number of people on the wall that are saying that we're not giving JJ Reddick his fair shake. And you might be absolutely right. But is it wrong to question how someone without experience, even as much as we went through with Kenny Atkinson? And as you can see right here on the screen, Sam Cassell, he has 15 years as an assistant coach. He has 4 NBA championships, 3 as a player, 1 as an assistant coach. Right? He also was an NBA All-Star. He was an All NBA player. He has all these things on his resume, and he is not being offered. Sorry. Sorry. He has all those things on his resume and he is not being offered a head coaching opportunity. Some people in 2MW believe that, well, some people want to be in the background. Some people don't want to always be a head coach. And I hear you. I hear you a lot, but at least I want to see the offers and I want to see the declines. I want to see him say, "Yes, thank you for offering me the head coach of this team, but I respectfully decline because I love it here. I love it being in the background." I haven't seen it. If you have seen it, let me know, but I have not seen Sam Cassell decline a head coaching opportunity. If he's doing it, fair enough. JJ Reddick has nothing. He does not have any experience that even Kenny Atkinson had. He doesn't have any of the assistant coaching experience that Sam Cassell has. And he's been offered to coach a legendary team. I've spoke about this already last week, but it's still on my mind because it's such a layered thing to see. Like, and I know people say don't make it a racial thing. I don't have to. I don't have to make this a racial thing. Let's make it just on the resume. His resume only has 15 years. His resume says he's a podcaster, and he's a friend of LeBron, which is a team that he's now has the job for, right? So I saw this meme today. It was passed to me by a friend, and this is like the funniest thing I ever seen. It says, when I ask God to accelerate my blessings, this is what I mean. And it shows that JJ Reddick's experience is with the Brooklyn Basketball Academy from 2023 to 2024, volunteer fourth grade boys head coach. And then now he is the 2024 to 2025 at least. He's got a 4-year deal, but at least he's the head coach of the Lakers right now. And that is the kind of acceleration and the kind of blessings that I want the Lord Jesus to give me in anything that I want to participate in. So, Lord, hear my prayer. Please give me the JJ Reddick special. Please accelerate my upcomings in any field that I want, because JJ Reddick got that real sprinkle of blessings, right? He got that real sprinkle of blessings, and I want the same. I don't got no experience, but I want you to give me the doors that he's got open for him without the experience. I worry about it all the time. And my experience, do I know enough about a topic to do now? Because of JJ Reddick, who cares? Who cares how much you know? Right? Real talk though, not to disrespect him any further, but this is a real lesson in life. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I've seen a lot of people say that LeBron had no position or no play or no part in the coaching recruitment process. I don't buy it. I don't believe it's true. But let's say it was true. Let's say LeBron never participated in the coaching. Sorry, let's say LeBron never participated in the hiring process to get JJ Reddick on to the Lakers. The fact that JJ Reddick knows LeBron and speaks to LeBron, I think gave him an edge. And it really, really goes back to the comment I made about it. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And right now, JJ Reddick knows the cash cow of the NBA. He knows him. He's a good friend of his, right? He's a good friend of his. And if JJ Reddick being in the front office or as a coach helps any way for the Lakers to retain the LeBron, he was worth the hire for that team. And we're just going to have to respect it. I saw something with the truth, Paul Pierce, saying it seems like something that's scripted. And it may be scripted, right? It seems like it's not real because of all the other people that were out there. I mean, we just went through Kenny Atkinson. I didn't even know he was on the market. Wouldn't you want a Kenny Atkinson on your squad given what his experience is? If you're really, really about winning? And this doesn't just go for the Lakers. This goes for any squad. How did Kenny Atkinson get to lay low for so long? And we know what he's capable of. We know it. We knew he wasn't terrible in Brooklyn. I mean, they didn't get to do as much as they could, but they didn't have all their players. Kyrie wasn't playing. KD wasn't playing in that year. And they still managed to do something, you know? It's really, really about who you know. Now let's talk about that situation. Kenny Atkinson gets pushed out, and who takes his spot? Who takes his spot after he's pulled out? Steve Nash, someone else with no coaching experience. But who does Steve Nash know? Okay, you could say he knows everybody, but little does a lot of people know that Steve Nash, not Kevin Nash. I'm thinking about wrestling. Steve Nash was actually a basketball consultant for the Golden State Warriors the year or two prior. So he got to know the players on an intimate level before being moved over to Brooklyn, and probably at the request of Kevin Durant. Because why would they pick him, of all people, to be the head coach with no experience? Because he knows Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant felt that, if you know someone on an intimate level, being a coach, a player consultant, he knows that Steve Nash knows him at an intimate level. You feel more comfortable with that person as your lead. And that's how Steve Nash got the job. It's who he knew. He knew one of the players. He knows the cash cow that's coming over to Brooklyn. JJ Reddick knows the cash cow that's going to the Lakers, or that the Lakers want to retain. And that's what they did. They made the investment in these players that don't that's what they did. They made the investment into these coaches that have no experience for what the result could possibly be. Unfortunately, the coaches that are out there that are actually trying to coach, that are actually trying to show the hard work, that have actually put in the hard work, are being overlooked in these cases. This is a business, and it may feel wrong, but this is how things work in business. So, I'm not expecting anything great to happen with the Lakers. We don't even know if LeBron is coming back. We have no idea if he's actually going to return. They're making this investment in with hopes that LeBron returns, but he's going to be a free agent. The draft is in 2 days, and wherever his son ends up, because I do believe his son is going to be drafted. We are playing the game that Paul Pierce said that they're playing. I do believe Bronny will be drafted. Depending on where he's drafted, that's where LeBron is going to try to make his way to be, because he has to play with his son. So with that being said, let's look out to what's going on. Let's look out to what happens, right? So we'll do another episode on Wednesday, pre-draft episode, as it would be. And let's see how this unfolds. I'm excited. This is a lot of drama for the NBA for me, but we'll see what happens. All right. So what we're looking out for on Wednesday is if Bronny gets drafted, where Bronny gets drafted, and then where will LeBron be next year, given that JJ Reddick has been hired for LA. And LeBron, his son, may not end up in LA unless there's some crazy move. So let's keep watch. Let's see what happens. And we'll be back on Wednesday to talk about it. All right, that was Card Chaos Live. Put Me in Coach episode 2. See you on Wednesday. Peace.